Hi, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. And if you are coming back again, oh my days, it's so good to have you again. I know productivity can be really hard. Personally, in my journey, I have struggled with productivity a lot. And it felt like I could do these things, but I just never had the strength to do them. I would watch people doing them. I would constantly look at my capacity and I would make attempts, but it never really matched. But all of a sudden, one day, I just realized that, my God, I am being productive. And then I had to sit down and look in retrospect. How did this happen? Then I realized there are some key things that I've done that has helped me. First off, I think I want to leave you with this even before you leave. I realized that it gets the darkest when you're closest to the end of the tunnel. You know, they say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. My God, it feels hardest when you're closer to the end of the tunnel. And my encouragement to you is that when you begin to have a sense of things getting really harder than they used to be, then that means there is light close, and it will take a lot of resilience to get there. And that is what I would say happened in those days where it felt the darkest. I would say it led me to feeling depressed, sad, moody. But let's just go right into the things that have helped me. Sometimes I laid my hands on this book called 7 Habits of, and this man said a lot of things. And I would actually advise you to read that book, but even if you choose not to read, I'm going to tell you some few things that I gained from that book that helped me. And number one, I realized that productivity is tied to vision. You can only produce what you are seeing. You can only produce a blueprint. So that means you need to see correctly. And one of the ways I started seeing correctly was this man advised us to go back and think about the last day. Peradventure, when you get home and you are invited to your funeral. I know that doesn't happen. And you happen to be a guest. You begin to hear people talk. Imagine what you want everyone that matters to you to say. In my own case, everyone that mattered to me are my husband, my friends, my brother, my church members, my children, like all of that. So he said, I haven't done that. Distribute these people into projects. So, for instance, distribute these roles so that you don't. One of the things that would help you to be productive is when you're actually doing well in all the areas that really matter to you. Not like you're just doing good in one area and then the other areas everybody's saying, oh, you're so bad. Now, good is relative, right? So I broke it down and I began to say, okay, I am a wife. What are the things that matters? I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am all of these things. I broke them down. Point number one, see correctly, go back, have a vision. Where do you see yourself to be in years to come? And begin to think about what are the little steps that I would take in that direction. So, having done that, then he said that it's important that weekly you put this. So what I do is weekly I put, I'm a mother at the beginning of the week. I do mine on Mondays. I sit down. I take about 10 minutes out of my day. In fact, I might actually be in the toilet when I do this. But most times I don't use my phones. I use my pen, and my paper. I have a book that I do that. For you, it might actually be your phone. Whatever works for you. I use my book because it helps me to focus and takes away distraction. So I put down all of these things, and then I think, okay, as a product manager, what are the things that happen that matter to me that I want to do this week? There's work and all of that. As a sister, what are the things that matter to me? Oh, so for instance, there are weeks that I say I'm going to reach out to my brother. The weeks I say I want to, maybe something I want to do in that line is prayer. The times that there are weeks that, oh, as a family member, I want to reach out to this person, this person, this person. So, haven't done that. I now put a day of the week to each of these sub functions under this project. So, okay, I put a day. This is what I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So at the beginning, by the time I'm done with that, so Monday, I pick out my sticky note and I write, oh, Monday, this is my recurrent task. They are the ones that happen every day. And this is my, what's the name of this task? My assigned task for the day. This one is peculiar to this day. So when I'm done with that, and I'll move on to, okay. Now, one thing you have to have at the back of, he helped me to see that I need to have at the back of my mind is, it's okay to be adaptable and you have to be flexible. There are times that you're able to get this done. Don't beat yourself up. What you would rather do is move it, schedule it to the next period. In this video, there were big stones, big rocks, there were stones, there were pebbles, there was sand and all of those things, and they needed to fill a cup. And someone said, oh, it can't fill this cup. The other person said, it can. What we'll do first is, let's put in the big rocks, then we put in the stones, then the pebbles, then we fill the sand, and before you know it, the whole cup is filled without anything left over. So what I now do is, at the beginning of every week, I identify my big rocks. What is that one thing that if I get it done this week, I am so going to be super proud of myself? Because what I also realized in my journey is, I focus on the sand, on the little things, and then the day is over, I'm already exhausted. I don't get to the big things. Because somehow deep down, just feeling like, no, or maybe you even go to a point of entertainment, it's just so hard. So I just try to do the big rocks first. Now, one thing that you need to, that I realized is, it's important to review these things. In fact, review them as much as possible in a day. So for instance, okay, so today is Wednesday, but apparently before now, I had said I was going to record on Thursday. But because I realized that some things might disrupt that, so I decided to move it back. That means some activities on Wednesday will most likely go to Thursday, right? And then I put a time. That's one of the things that helps. So by 1 p.m. I'm supposed to do this, right? And then I do that. So once I am getting these activities done, I try to go back to my to-do list to tick them off, so that I am reminded again of the ones I haven't ticked off. I've spoken to set them weekly and plan. It's important to plan. When you do not plan, sometimes we feel that, okay, when I sit down to plan, I'm wasting time. But actually, when you plan, you are able to put your mind away off all the distractions and the many things that are in your mind, and then focus on one thing. And you, as a result, you have clarity. So this is a very good illustration that I give. For instance, you have a pipe, right, that has a lot of things inside. One thing that planning does is it helps you take away all the clogs so that water can flow freely. If you don't sit down to plan, you most likely think that that pipe is not clogged. And when you need water to flow, you will not be able to get the water. And so you keep turning it on, say, oh, why is this? But why is this pipe not coming out? Or why is this pipe not producing water? But when you take out time to watch the pipe, check it, see everything, you will be able to identify the clogs easily, take them out, and then whenever you need water throughout the week, you can just turn on your tap we keep going. And one big thing that I realized, this one, we said that productivity is tied to vision. And for you to keep being productive, you need to keep seeing. One of the ways to keep seeing is constantly having time in your day where you reignite yourself through prayer, through studying the Word of God, through meditation, and probably reading a book. Just something to fuel your soul and help you focus. I think one person that I can take that from is the story of Jesus. Jesus woke up early in the morning to go and pray. And Peter and the likes were trying to, after he was done, to distract him and say, oh, let's go, these people we need to see. And he said, no, guys, we need to move on to the next thing. Because I have gone to reignite my vision, and I was told that there is purpose in the next city, right? That's on the exact way Jesus said it, but I'm just painting that scenario for you to see. That is one thing, spending time with God every day, how it helps. I realized that days that I wake up and I spend a lot of time on social media before I get onto my activities and planning my day, my God, it's done. Everybody, that day is gone. That day is wasted, right? And I think this will lead me to my last point, to tell you that. And if you try all of these things I've said, it still feels like, oh my God, it's not working. Try again. Try again. Don't give up. During this period, like I said, it gets the darkest when you are closer to the end of the tunnel where there is light. So you never can tell which day you will try, you will do it, you will speak, and then you just realize that you're getting it done. So, my dears, I'm going to leave you with this, is just in case you try, keep trying. We are all figuring it out together. This productivity, we are all learning it together. So, don't stop, don't give up, keep trying. Go again, go again, go again, and until you figure it out. And I want to leave you with this story that Pastor Bolaji Adeola spoke about the Enoch movie. He said that one thing that he realized is, a lot of people wonder that how did Baba Adeboye become so like devoted to God, despite all the back and forth he had in his work with God. And he said something. He said, there is this point that a man gets to, that if he keeps falling, gets to a point that once he stands, he will never fall again. So you don't know when you will stand and never fall again. That's why you will never stop trying to stand. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do everything so that others can get to see this video.